Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great. Hope you're all staying safe in these market circumstances, of course. And welcome to a new, I'm probably still going to call this an emergency update. I mean, I did an emergency update yesterday evening, of course, when we broke through the main support we had at 80,800, and since then it has not gone right. All right. So in this video, I just wanted to do a full update on the current situation. The different possibilities where we can actually potentially find a bottom, because at this point of time I am not convinced about the bottom. There is a bit of a bullish divergence here. I mean, you can see this initial spike down into this latest spike down. You can see that the volume was lower, so that's a good thing, and we also are making higher lows with the RSI. So, you know, could this be the bottom? Yes, but then I would like to see more confirmation, and we haven't seen that yet, but we'll talk about that later as well. But we're just going to do a full update, right, so that you're kind of prepared for today. And obviously, we have to talk about the fundamentals then as well, all right, because arguably the fundamentals are the most important part of today. And then we're mostly talking about the US Open and just in general what the Trump administration will do, all right? Will they actually implement changes, or will they implement these tariffs and potentially even more in 2 days? So we'll talk about that. Let's get right into it. So first of all, when we're taking a look at the chart right here, I mean, you can see right here that, well, first of all, there's a major imbalance to the upside, right? So basically between 80,000 all the way up to the CME gap at 84,300. There's an imbalance that's quite big. Now, would I say that that's going to get filled? Eventually, yes. However, short term, I don't see that confirmation yet. You can see the initial balance right here was under the value area of yesterday. We quickly retested the value area low of yesterday as well. So that was already I think 3-4 hours into the session, into this day. We already got confirmation that we were going to drop down lower technically. But then, of course, fundamentally, we also saw the S&P 500 E-mini futures, first of all, open lower. And now I would say we're finding some stability, as you can see. But ultimately, this is still very bearish. All right. So basically, the fundamentals with the equity market opening and the technicals were both bearish, and that's why we are dropping down right now. And then there's obviously reasons behind why the technical opening for Bitcoin was bearish and why US equities were bearish, but we'll talk about that a bit later. So purely technically, right now we found support right here at 74,500. Purely technically, I don't think that level is strong enough. All right, the main level I'm personally looking at to find a bottom here for Bitcoin would be this level right here. It's also a previous imbalance between, let's say, 69,000 and 72,000. All right, that is the main technical support level where I would actually say, all right, well, there we have a chance to find a bottom. I think it's actually most likely, regardless of the fundamentals, that we will bottom out there, at least locally. All right, so that means that we'll find support there and we can get some strength. Maybe later we'll drop down lower. That is a possibility, but we will have to see based on how we react to that level. So for now, I would say it's most likely, if you take a look at Bitcoin right here, that we're going to drop down into that level, and that from there we actually have a chance to find support and to find some sort of a bottom. But in general, like, the main thing we're looking for with Bitcoin here, especially on the lower time frames, is some sort of a bullish confirmation. All right, so for example, right now we're testing this fair value gap we left. If we can get, and that has to be in line with the fundamentals as well, if we can get some sort of a bullish reclaim here, some sort of a bullish break of structure with volume, then this could be the bottom as well. But that is, like, at this point of time, there's just not enough confirmation for me to tell you I think that's most likely. All right, therefore I still think technically it's most likely we'll drop down lower into real support instead of doing something like this. But this is, like, especially during the middle of the day market updates, I'll talk about this again. Like, this is a possibility. It's just that the volume right now is very low. Fundamentally, I don't really see a reason why we should do this. But just know that that is a possibility, and that is certainly something you should keep in mind. All right, if everybody is looking at 72,000 to go long, you know, that level might get front ran, and this could be the bottom. But for now, like I said, I think it's most likely will drop down lower, and then ultimately, but I will most likely do a market update before the US opening. Then ultimately, what's going to matter a lot is how the US market things about the tariffs and just in general the state of the market, right? You can see right now pre-market S&P is trading at the levels we last saw February 2024. We could see a major bounce from here, then Bitcoin is going to bottom out as well. If we get some sort of a de-escalation by the Trump administration or just in general with the trade war, then we can get a bounce as well, but more on that later, all right? Because those fundamentals do matter, but it's best to analyze and to get back to those a little bit later today when the US market is almost opening. So I will be back. For now, like I said, I think it's most likely we'll drop down into that major support level below us, but keep your eyes on break of structure patterns, all right? So this is going to be a pretty long video, but it's worth it. But a break of structure, what you can see is something. Can I find a quick no, it's a little bit difficult to find something. Yeah, so something like this, right? So that you have this lower low, and then you cannot see it right here, but that we actually are able to reclaim that lower low. So keep your eyes on patterns like that on the lower time frames, 1 hour time frame. But for now, that's my analysis, that's my emergency update. Those are the possibilities. I'll see you all in my next videos. For now, thank you for watching. Take care and bye.